In this video, I'm having a look at two-step equations. If you haven't already watched the one-step equation video, I suggest you have a look at that first, just so you know where we're coming from in how I set out my questions. So I do use a certain process to show my working out, and I start off using that process in the one-step equations video. So it might be worth just having a look at that before you watch this one. If you feel really confident with solving one-step equations, maybe you can have a watch and see how you go. So 2a plus 3 equals 11. In my previous video, I talked about how it's like we're unwrapping the present. So the a has been multiplied by 2 and then 3 was added. So the last thing that happened to the a was that the 3 was added. So we're going to undo that first. We're going to take that ribbon off the present. We're going to undo each of the steps that happened. So when we take away that 3, we're just left with the 2a here. Then for our other side of the equation, we've got 11 take away 3. That's going to leave us with 8. Now we've got 2a equals 8, and this is like in our previous video with the one-step equations. We've got 2 times a is equal to 8, so the opposite to that is divide by 2. And we get a is equal to 4. And just like in the previous video, I'm going to substitute that a in to check that that works. So I'll say 2 times 4 is 8 plus 3 equals 11. And I know I've got my answer correct. So I can write a little substitution line. And give a little tick there. Some teachers will require that, some teachers don't. In the next one, it's slightly different because we have a takeaway 4. So the last thing that was done to the a was multiplied by 5 and then 4 was taken away. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add the 4 to both sides. So now I have 5a on this side is equal to 30. So the next thing I'm going to do, just like I did up here, we have 5 times a is 30. So the opposite is to divide by 5. And we get a is equal to 6. Now we can do a quick check up here and say 5 times 6 is 30, take away 4 is 26, and we know we've worked that out correctly. Now the last one I've put a little star on because this is one I find students find a little bit tricky when they see because they're not sure how to approach it. Because it's not in the usual order of something times our variable plus or minus something equals a number, it's a little bit different. So we've got 10 take away 2a equals 16. So the a has been multiplied by 2 and then it was taken away from 10. So the last thing was that 10 that was involved. So I'm going to take away 10 to start with. So that's going to leave me with minus 2a is equal to 6. Now when I do my next step, the a was multiplied by negative 2 when I read it this way. So I'm going to be left with 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. So when we look at that question, we can check it and say, if we do 2 times negative 3, we're going to get negative 6. 10 take away negative 6 is the same as doing 10 plus 6, which gives us 16, which was what we were looking for. In the next video, in this series, I'm going to have a look at equations that have brackets in them.